Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the features we have implemented for Sayers in Release 1 and Release 2. So first feature is the access control list. For Sayers, we have configured some roles like advisors, team manager, assistant, which are all internal users of Sayers. And apart from that, we have external users, which are clients. So as you can see here, we have a group one where I have one advisor and he can access a list of clients, 4 clients here. And then I have group two where I have one advisor and he also has a list of clients which he is currently managing. So as per the access control list requirement of Sayers, the advisor of group one should be able to see all his clients, but he shouldn't be able to see the clients of other group which another advisor is managing. Similarly, group two advisor would see all the clients of that he's managing, but won't be able to see all the clients of group one. On the other hand, we have a team manager who is basically managing a group of advisors. So when someone with role team manager would log in into the Sayers application, he would be able to see all the clients of all the advisors under him. So let's see this functionality in the application. I'll log in with the advisor of group one and see what are all the clients that he can see. So in group one, I have these clients. Let's try to search these clients here. Let's go to the client list page and see for the number of clients. So here you can see I have Maxine, I have Angela, I have Easter. So I can see these clients. Let's try to search. So with 2 characters of their name, I can search the name of the client here. Let's try another one. Yeah, I can see this client in group one. Let's try the third one with SA. So I can see this client Peter Samantha here. So all these are group one clients. Let's try to search some of the clients of group two with 2 characters. Yeah, so I can't see any of the clients of group two. Let's try another one. I can't see this client. Yeah. So this is how the access is controlled for each of the login users. Let's try to log in with advisor of group 2 now and see what are all the clients that he can see. Group 2 advisor and password. Let's go to the client list page and search for the client list. Let's try with group 2 clients. Yes, I can see this client here. Let's try to search this one. Yep, I can see this client here. Let's try to search this one. Yep, I can see. Let's try to search any of the clients of list 1, group 1. Yep, I can't see any of the clients of group 1. Let's try another one. I can't see Angela Abraham here, which is group 1 client. So this is how the client list is implemented. Let's try to log in with team manager and see whether he is able to access all the clients of group 1 and group 2. Let's go to the client list page and try to search the name. So Peter Samantha is group 1 client. Let's try to search any client of group 2, ST. Yeah, I can see Starling Chambers here. Let's try to search this client. Yeah, I can see Mary Beth here of group 2. Let's try to search any client of group 1 again. Yeah, I can see Angela Abraham. So team manager is the one who can access all the clients of group 1 and group 2. This was all about access control list. Let me log in again with the RM and show you the other features. So when an advisor or a relationship manager logs in into the Sayers application, this is the RM portal on which he is logging in. So on the home page, he would see a list of all the recently viewed clients, and the other sections on the home page are latest publications, which includes all the media that are latest publications for this advisor. And then we have Spotlight curated by bank. It also contains media which are specifically shared by the bank to the advisor. And then we have a next section for my subscriptions, which is not yet implemented. Here also you would see the similar cards of media, but it contains the media that this advisor has specifically subscribed to. The other features on the home page are related to some settings. In the settings page, the advisor can actually see his first name, last name, email, and mobile number if it is imported via UBI import, or the social network accounts like LinkedIn and Twitter. And the other functions that we have is to change the password or log out. Subscriptions is not yet implemented, so once it will be implemented in future releases, we can see some content here. Let's go back to the home page. So on the recently viewed client list, you can see the number of clients that this advisor has recently viewed. On clicking this particular icon here, you would see the details of this one particular client. Or if you want to see the entire list of all the clients, we need to click on here, view all, and it will take us to the client list page again. So let's go to client list page. So you can see the entire list of all the clients here. We have certain actions on the clients, like if we want to view the portfolio of a particular client, or if we want to view the details of a particular client, we can choose these options, and it will take us to the relevant page. But before going into those details, let me show you how to create a new prospect or a new contact of type individual or entity. So here we can see create button, which gives me 3 options at the moment. One is individual client, individual prospect, and entity prospect. So if I want to create a individual prospect here, I would go to this page where I could see general section, where I need to fill in all the basic details of this particular prospect. And then I have preferences section where I can just fill in the preferred channel, preferred language, preferred country, and currency of this particular prospect. And then communication channel related to phone number, addresses, and email IDs. And similarly, I have financial and investment details section and the documents where I can upload all the supporting documents of this prospect. So let's try to create a new prospect here. Rebecca Jessel, and input date of birth. Australia. So not all the fields are mandatory. So how would I know what are the fields I need to fill in? If I click on save, the validations will be triggered and it will show me what are the fields I need to fill in. preferred channel, maybe phone, and preferred language, English, Australia, and currency is Australian dollar. Now, since I have selected preferred channel as phone, so phone type would be mandatory for me now. But in case I change it to say email, then I would be requested to input the email type. So there is a validation on whatever input we provide here on the preferences channel. So let's put phone, and phone type is mobile. So phone number will be mandatory to fill in. Let's input some financial details here. Non-financial assets, maybe 750000. Expected investment, income for the year 2019, and income type is employment income. Now, when I go to this document section, I have this add button where I can click and upload the type of document I want. Identification card, maybe expiry date is 2028 August, and issue date and let's upload the ID card, and I can save it. Title. I can see this information, this card, identity card here, and the option I have here is to remove the card if I want. Now, when I save this details, the details are saved, and I will still be on the same page. I have to click the close button to go back to the other pages. Before going to close button, let me go to relations tab and show you how we can add some relations for this prospect. The relations can be family relations, business relation, or accounts, or any other type of relation. So here I have an add button. Once I click on this add button, I have a search button here where I can search any existing contact or any existing client who might have a relation with this particular prospect. So let's try to add a family relation here, maybe with this client. So I can see the name of the client here, and I can declare the relationship type. So maybe family relation, and the status of this particular person is client, and I can add this. Similarly, I can add any business relations. Maybe let's try to search Pathways Foundation here, and relation type is business. Once I close this, I'll get a pop-up whether I have saved this information or not. This is just a confirmation for the advisor, and I can either discard or I can save this information and close. Let's try to search the prospect that we have recently created with 2 letters of the name. So you can see Jessel Rebecca. So I think we had created another prospect with the same name. That's why I'm getting 2 records here. Let's see the details. Yeah. So here is the one I have created, and I can see the name this is on the single client view page where advisor can see details of a particular client which he has selected. So I can see the overview of this particular client, the wealth overview. I can see profile info. I can see if there is any proposal created for this client. So we will talk about this single client view in a while. Let's go back to the client's page and try to create another prospect who is a type entity. So for entity prospect, we have a different set of fields where we don't need first name, last name, but it will be a business name of the company. So let's try to create an entity here. Black Swan Foundations Limited. Legal form is a company. Country of incorporation, Australia. Date of incorporation is registration ID. So not all the fields are mandatory, but we can see whichever fields are mandatory by clicking on the save option. It will trigger all the validations and I can know which all the fields I need to input mandatorily. So preferred channel, let's input phone. Australia, preferred currency, Australian dollar. And the relationship manager is automatically populated. Let's try to give some values here. Non-financial assets, expected investment, return objective is growth capital, annual revenue of the company, and the revenue year 2019. So similarly here, I can add phones of this entity. So if I click on add button, I'll get a pop-up. Let's input the phone number, and the type of phone is business phone, and I can save this record. Similarly, I can input some emails. Black Swan Foundations at yahoo.com. Business email ID. I can input some addresses here, maybe work address. And I can save. Here also I can add some documents for this entity prospect, maybe identification card, expiry date in 2028. Title could be business registration document, issue date, issue country Australia, and I can upload the document. This is how I can create an entity prospect, and similar to individual prospect, I can add relations for this prospect, maybe some other business relations, some account relations, or any other type of relations. So let's try to add business relations here. Maybe I can search a client, Rebecca, who is a lawyer for this company. Let's add. This is how I can create an entity prospect. The information is saved now and I can close it. Let's go back to the client list page here and try to search the company that we have created just now. So here we have a known issue that whenever you try to search the company name, we get to see this undefined text here. So this is already a known issue and team is already working on to fix it. Let's try to see the details of this company. So similar to individual prospect, I can see the overview of this company and I can see profile info where I can see the details that it is a prospect of type business or company, the expected investment, total assets of this company, any phone numbers or preferred channels preferred language, currency, and country. And similar to individual prospect, I can see if any proposal is created or has been created for this particular entity prospect. Let's go to single client view. Let's select any of one of the clients from this client list and see the details of one particular client. So this is the page where I can see a single, this is the single client view page where I can see all the details of a particular selected client. So this is the client I have selected, and I can see the overview card here showing me all the wealth information about this client. I have two charts, two tabs here where I can switch between either if I want to see the donut chart like this, or if I want to switch to line chart or bar chart. So here also we have one of the known issues where you can see the information, the breakdown of asset classes is not in a proper format, not in a proper text. We are getting not analyzable information here, and team is working to fix on this issue as well. The other function on this card is the view detail. If I click on view detail, it will take me to the wealth view page where I can see the details of it in terms of number of assets, liabilities, and any other contracts. On this page, I can see the charts and the total net worth of this particular client in the selected currency. If I want, I can change the currency and see the details in any other currency. For example, if I select peso, but for this client, the details are in Australian dollars, and that's why I can see only in Australian dollars here. On the right side, I can see the details of total number of assets and liabilities. Once I click on this arrow here, I can I'll go to the assets tab and liabilities for the liabilities tab. So there are two ways to go to the assets and liabilities page. Either I can go from this arrow here, or I can move between these tabs. This is the assets page here. I can view the assets by asset class or by any other category like portfolio, currency, expiration, sector, or region. Based on asset classes, I have this information. Let's try to switch to portfolio. And I would see there are three different portfolios of this particular client: personal investment account 1, sharing investment, and personal investment account 2. So there can be multiple accounts and multiple portfolios for a particular client, and this is another feature of Sayers. But till this release, we have just implemented that we can see the information, only the number of accounts and number of portfolios for a particular client. I can switch to the currency mode, and I can see the wealth information in a particular currency. And similarly, based on expiration, if I have, and sector, or based on any region. Let's go back to asset classes here. At the bottom, I will see a table for the breakdown of these asset classes. So I have asset classes, for example, not analyzable here, and I would see the breakdown of this asset class. So this not analyzable should be equities or fixed incomes or alternatives for Sayers, but somehow this, because of this known issue, we are getting not analyzable text here, and in the table also we are getting the same text, but we can see the breakdown of the products within this particular category. The other options I have on this table are table settings, where I can just hide and unhide any columns which I don't want to see or which I want to see. For example, I can hide fields, I can hide currency, I can hide weight, I can hide quantity, or I can add these back into the table. Then I have an export option, but this icon, we can see the icon in this release, but it's not working at the moment. In next release, it will be a working functionality, and we will be able to export all these details into a CSV file. The next function on this page is this filter here. So at the moment, it's showing me all the portfolios of this particular client, and I have an option here to select any of the portfolios for this client. If I go to overview page here and click on this icon, I'll get this pop-up where it will show me all the accounts of this particular client. So this client, Maxim DuPont, has one portfolio of its own, personal investment account too. So there are two accounts under this portfolio. And then I have another account, which is a sharing account of two clients, Maxim and Angela. And I can see the account here, sharing investment account between these two parties. The other functions on single client view, as I said, is the profile info card, where we can see all the details of a particular client. And if I click on view detail here, I will be navigated to a page where I can see all the information, like general information, preferences, all the relations, which I had either imported from CBI import file, our standard client batch import, or which I have created as a new prospect from the application. So we have a family relation for this client, and we have one business relation for this client. Let's go back to single client view again. The next functionality or next card is the proposals card. So here, as you can see, we have this list of proposals for this client. And you can see the proposals are in different statuses, for example, active or accepted, or majorly we show the active and accepted proposals on this card, not the rejected ones. There are certain actions for the user on this card. For example, if I want to view the detail of a particular proposal, or I want to edit or delete a proposal, or I want to change the status of a proposal, or if I want to generate a report for this proposal. We'll talk about all these functions in a while. Let's try to create a proposal or see the details of all these proposals first. Now, if I click on view all here, it will take me to this page, which is called proposal list. And here I can see the entire list of proposals for this client in different statuses. The actions for the advisor on this page are, first is the filter. I can filter the proposals with the status values. For example, accepted, I can see a list of all the accepted proposals, or I can see all the active proposals, or if I click on all, I would see all. Then I have another function, compare proposal. I'll talk about it in a while. Let's try to create a new proposal first for this client. Let's give a name for this proposal, rebalancing proposal dated 11th December. Now I have an option to select the portfolio for which this proposal is required. So let's select any portfolio. The current portfolio value, the proposed amount, and the suggested risk level of the client is automatically populated. And I have an option to input any additional amount for this client. So let's try to input some values here. In this section, I would get a list of all the model allocations and model portfolios, and I can select the model allocations here and the model portfolios. Now, user has an option of none also. So for a particular scenario, selecting a model allocation and model portfolio is not mandatory. So I can click on none option here and proceed to create a portfolio. Then I have a restriction section here where I can see all the existing restrictions if there are any for this client. For example, I can see there is one restriction on asset class for the values for the level 1 on equities and international equities, and the range is given as 0 to 15%. So either I can go and edit this restriction, or if I want, I can add a new restriction. So let's try to edit this one, equities, maybe on emerging market equities, and the range maybe 0 to 10. Or if I want, I can add a new restriction. Maybe on alternative strategies, alternative growth, range 2 to 10. So I can see whatever restrictions I have added or updated are shown to me on the top. Let's move to the next step of the proposal. So on step 2, I would see a list of all the health checks for this proposal. So as you can see, we have portfolio concentration, client preferences health check, and model portfolio adherence health check. And if I click on any of these health checks, I would see the details of why the health check has been passed or failed. So it will give me a list of all the failed health checks and passed health checks as well. So if I click on all, I can see the details, which of the restrictions have failed and which have been passed. So as you can see here, the alternative strategies restriction that I've added just now, the limit I had given was 2 to 10%. For the current portfolio, it is 0, and for proposed also it's 0, which is out of the range I have given. So that's why the health check has failed. On the other hand, for the past health check, as you can see, for emerging market equities, the limit was given 0 to 10%, and the calculated value is also 0, which is within the range of the limit, and that's why the health check has passed. On the next section, portfolio section, you can see all the products of current portfolio as well as the model portfolio. And we can go into the details of these products here. Now there are two options for the user here. One is either he can modify the proposed quantity and proposed amount of all of these products manually, or he can click on this option, rebalance to model, and all the products of the current portfolio will get rebalanced to the selected model. So let's see both the options here. If I want to, for example, update the proposed quantity here for this product, let's try to change the proposed quantity from 0 to 500. So as you can see, once I update the proposed quantity here, there is a difference here in the value that I input and the value that is calculated. This is because in order to adjust the percentage weight of the proposed quantity, in order to make it aligned with in a certain percentage, there can be some differences in the exact amount that you have entered and the value that you're seeing on the screen. So based on my proposed quantity, proposed amount is automatically recalculated, and also the order amount is generated and recalculated and generated as you can see plus 505.11 AUD, and the order amount is calculated, order quantity is calculated. The other option I have is not to change the proposed quantity, but I can change the proposed amount. For example, this amount, and based on this amount, my proposed quantity for this particular product will be recalculated, As you can see here, proposed weight is now recalculated. Order amount, order amount, and order amount in different currency, and order quantity is all recalculated. Then I have an option to add a new product to this proposal. So here I'll get a list of all the products from product engine, and I can go on adding a particular product, for example, this one, and I can click on add, and the product is added into the proposal. Now let's try to rebalance. The other option I have here is same as table settings, where I can hide or unhide any of these columns which I want to see in this big table, or which I don't want to see in this table. I can select those, and once I click on rebalance to model, I don't have to change manually all of these products. I have the option to automatically rebalance it to model, as I said. So once user click on this rebalance to model function, whatever changes he has done till now, for example, adding a new product manually or changing the proposed amount and proposed quantities of any products manually, all that will no longer be valid, and it will be automatic recalculation, rebalancing of the things as per the model. So at the moment, we have a known issue on rebalancing function also, where I'll not be able to show you the exact percentage values here. But as you can see, I get a pop-up saying automatic rebalance to model portfolio will be executed, and any previous changes that you might have done on the proposal will be ignored. So ideally on this function, you would see all the proposed weight of all the products here should be automatically matching with the model portfolio, which is not happening at the moment. But once this issue is fixed, it will be proposed weight of this proposal would be equal to the model portfolio weightage here. Next, I have transaction fee and advisory fee options here. So here I have a validation. If I try to input some negative values on this screen, I would get the error message here. Let me reduce the size of the browser and show you the error message. So as you can see, the message is the value is not acceptable. Please check. So I'm not allowed to input any negative values here. Let's go back to the next step of the proposal. The third step of the proposal is the proposal summary, where I would see I need to fix this error 670 and move on to next step. So once I manually change anything or rebalance to model, it asks me to recalculate all the health checks before proceeding to the next step. So let's recalculate and move to next step. So on the proposal summary, as you can see, it's a summary of the proposal that I have created just now. So on the general information section, I can see all the key values of the portfolio of the proposal, the current portfolio value, the additional amount that I have added, and the total proposal amount. Apart from that, I can see the risk profile of the client, the model portfolio that I have selected, and description of this proposal. On the asset allocation section, as you can see, I can see the asset allocation charts here for the current portfolio, model portfolio, and proposed portfolio. Next section is the order list, where I can see a list of orders that have been generated as part of this proposal. So once I save this proposal, it will take me back to the proposal list page, where I can see the latest proposal that is being created in an active status. So this is the proposal that I've created just now, and I can go on and view the detail of this proposal. It will take me to the proposal summary page again to see all the main details. I can go back and let's try to edit this proposal a bit. Yeah, so here I'm at the first step of the proposal where I can edit whatever I want. Let's try to edit the name of this proposal. Or try to add some comment here. I have ignored the calculation. And let's try to save. So whenever I change anything in a proposal, I'm forced to go through all the 3 steps of the proposal so that I don't just save or edit anything on first step and just move back to the proposal list. I can't do that. I have to go through all the steps, 3 steps again. And once I'm at the last step of the proposal, which is proposal summary, here I should be able to save this proposal. Now let's try to delete some other proposal from the list. For example, this one. So I will get a confirmation pop-up saying, are you sure you want to delete this proposal? If you click confirm, the proposal would be gone from the list. Let's try to change the status of this proposal. So here also we have a known issue where you can see all the radio buttons are all pre-selected. So team is working on to fix this issue as well. So let's try to change the status of this proposal to accepted and confirm. Now you can see the status is accepted. With the generate report functionality, I can see the proposal PDF of this proposal that gets open into a separate tab of the browser. And here I can see the cover page with client's name. I can see table of contents. I can see the description and any notes which I have added in the proposal. And then the table of holdings showing me the current portfolio holdings, proposed portfolio holdings, and the model portfolio, followed by the details of the selected model portfolio here with the weightage and the asset allocation graphs where I can see the charts of current portfolio, model, and proposed portfolio, followed by the order list. And any disclaimer if we want to upload for sayers, we can upload on this placeholder. Let's go back to the proposal page here and see one more functionality of the proposal where I can select any 2 proposals and compare those proposals. So on the proposal comparison screen, it will give me a list, a back-to-back comparison of the 2 proposals that I've selected. So I can make better decisions which proposal is better for my client with this functionality. So here, as you can see, we have a current portfolio on the left side and the 2 proposals that I have selected. I can see the details of those proposals, like proposal amount, the model portfolio that is selected, the name of the proposal, description, and in the portfolio list, I can see a list of all the products within these portfolios. This is all about proposal functionality. Now let's move on to portfolio performance. So portfolio performance basically gives me key metrics of a particular portfolio with all the historical data and the graph uh, for for time weighted rate of return method. On this screen, user have an option to select some filters, some period for which he wants to see the portfolio, how the portfolio has performed within this time period. So at the moment for the sales, we haven't imported the historical data of the portfolios, and that's why you can't see any values here on this screen. But once we have all the historical data of holdings, holding groups, and the transactions, we would definitely see some values and some figures and graphs on this page. Next functionality is about order status, order blotter, or order tracker, whatever you say it. It's a page where I can see a list of all the orders of this particular selected client. So as you can see, I have already selected client Maxime Dupont here. That's why I'm not able to click on this filter and change the name of the client. But there is an option if you come to this order blotter screen directly from this menu option, you are always allowed to select any client you want and see a list of all the orders of that particular client. The other options for the user on this page are to filter the orders based on date, based on order sign, based on proposal, product type, based on status of the proposal, based on product subtype, and exchange description. Now for sales in this release, we have done a customized requirement where we have added product subtype and exchange description, because the particular requirement for sales is to not to send all the orders which belong to Australian stock exchange market. That shouldn't be sent to Refinitiv, but should be manually handled and tracked by the user. So for that purpose, we added these two filters as a customized requirement here. On this page, you can see the list of all the orders, and I have table setting options where I can just hide and unhide any fields that I want to make a desired view of this table. For example, also I can move these fields from one position to another as per the need. For example, I have a product here, I have a product subtype here, I have product currency and product type. So let's move product type along with the product subtype here. And this is the exchange code where I can see exchange code ASX or TYO for Tokyo Stock Exchange. Let's move the description here. And let's move the order status here. So now as you can see, I have exchange description here for these orders. So whatever orders that belong to Australian Stock Exchange market will be directly traded at the Refinitiv, and user has an option to select. As you can see, the order status here is ready for trading. I can select this order and send it to Refinitiv with this action, send orders. So it will give me a warning message saying that orders that do not belong to Australian Stock Exchange will not be going to Refinitiv, and you need to track and handle them manually. So once I close this warning message, it asks me for a confirmation whether I confirm to place this order to Refinitiv, and once I click yes, the order will be sent to the Refinitiv via the WebSocket connector that we have. I can put it in this processing in the background, and once it is sent to Refinitiv, I'll get a confirmation pop-up saying how many orders have been successfully placed at the Refinitiv. And once it is successfully placed, I can see the change in the order status here on this table. Let me refresh. It's still ready for trading. So let's see, once it is traded, it's sent to Refinitiv. I should see the status change from ready for trading to queued for trading. Looks like there is another issue here on this page. Let's move on meanwhile to our next requirement here. On this page, just now I sent the order of Australian Stock Exchange to Refinitiv. Let's try to see for the order which is not for Australian Stock Exchange. For example, this one, we have here the Stock Exchange of Hong Kong Limited. Let's try to select this order. For this order, I don't have to select and send it to Refinitiv. Even if I do that, I'll get the error of saying the order has not been placed to Refinitiv. So as user needs to manually handle this type of orders, what action I can take here is from this ellipsis is change status. So if I click on change status here, I can change this status either to queued for trading or cancelled. So once I confirm this, I can see the status has been changed to queued for trading here. And the next status I can change from queued for trading is either executed, rejected, or cancelled. So let's make it executed here. And now you can see the status is executed, this one. This is how we handle the manual order handling requirement of Sayers, where advisor will have to manually change the status of all the orders that do not belong to Australian Stock Exchange. So under Australian Stock Exchange, we are handling the exchange codes ASX, NSX, and CHIA, which is Chi-X Australia Stock Exchange. So that's all for the order blotter here. Now on the side navigation menu, you can see some other options as home page. We have already discussed. Client is the client list page where you can see entire list of all the clients managed by this particular advisor. When we click on orders, you can see I have the drop down option now active where I can select any client for which I want to see the list of orders. And then next option is the media portal here. So the media portal is the page where I can see all the media belonging to this particular advisor in different sections, and all this media has been shared to this advisor via Media Engine functionality. So the sections I can see on this page are latest publications. So the action which user can take here to bookmark any of this media or to try to open this media. The other section is Spotlight curated by the bank. So as I said, if any media that is particularly shared by the bank for this advisor, you can see all those media in this particular section. Then certain highlighted media. Subscription is not yet implemented in this release. So that's why the section is blank. Then any media, top trending media, most viewed media. So for most viewed media, user has an option to select any media within any time period, like 1 year, 6 months, 90 days, 30 days, or this month, or click on view all, and it will go to a page where he can see all the media of this particular category. Then we have last viewed media and the reading list of this particular client. So reading list is not yet implemented, and that's why you can't see any content here. Let's try to open any of these media from this option here. Yeah, so you can see we can upload any type of media, for example, a video or audio file or PDF or images. So all that media can be opened on this page. Then we have certain options for searching a particular media. So this search bar looks quite simple, but it's not as simple as it looks like. It's a quite intelligent feature where I can, if I try to search a media with, if I try to type just 2 letters for this, it will show me a suggestion whether I want to search for a particular term in this search bar. Let's try something on this. If I try to search NASDAQ, it will show me whether I have any search suggestion for this or search options. Let's try to search. It doesn't have anything for NASDAQ. Let's go back. Let's try to search NYSE. So you can see here, once I start writing just 1 letter of my search criteria, it will show me a list of all the searches that have been done, most popular searches, the trending searches, or the recent search that I have done at the moment. So let's try NYSE. So I have one media that belongs to this text, NYSE. If I click on advanced search, I can see these filters here. The advanced search has not been implemented yet, but once it is implemented, I would be able to search any media based on any of these filters. As I said, subscriptions also is not yet implemented, so you can't see any content or any function here. We will talk more about it in future releases. So that's all for the show and tell session or for this video. These are all the features that we have implemented in release 1 and release 2. Take a note that till release 2, we have it's all based on package solution edge, and we have taken it till sprint 14. Thank you everyone for listening.